Hello viewers, here we have a Lakewood box fan in the more uncommon brown finish. This one is, I guess, an S223-M maybe? I'm not entirely sure. The data tag is missing in the bottom, which you can't really see. The lighting over here is not the greatest, but it is what it is, you know. This is what the back looks like. Also not the greatest camera work, but it is what it is. The motor has this square stator, and I'm going to see if I can't get a shot of our information tag. Looks like I'm not going to really be able to. Okay. I can't really see it. 2.40 maybe amps. I'm not entirely sure, because the sticker's kind of coming up right, of course, where the amps are. Alright. Okay. So there's that. This came from, as he's known on YouTube, Zach the Fan Man 76, I believe is his username. And he did service it, I believe, but it has some dust on there. And it was very much over-oiled, which is much better than under-oiled. But if we look on the back here of the motor, there's all dried up oil there, and you can't see it from this shot, but there's a bunch of oil on the bottom of the cabinet, and it's got dust all stuck to it. Again, much better than under-oiled, but I will want to clean that up, because one of the things I can't stand is grease everywhere. Another uncommon thing about this is this one is not branded Lakewood, it is branded Temp Master, which is kind of neat. Yeah, this is not a wood grain back finish, it's just brown. Unfortunately, the front grille is pretty yellow. The back one is white still. Actually, it's in pretty good shape. And it did come to me on the stand. I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep it on it. It doesn't match. I have no idea if that's original, because, I mean, at first glance, I would not expect this to be original because they're different colors. So I guess technically you would say it's not original. But on the other hand, I don't know if these stands were sold separately, and maybe the original owner bought the stand for the fan originally. So, and I do not have the amperage meter up here because I forgot it, so we're just gonna deal with it. I'm gonna try to put the camera on the tripod. Keyword try, because it's a little bit broken. I need to glue it. Everything around here always has to break before it gets fixed. I don't understand how this thing's supposed to work. This is a vintage tripod, but the problem is the plastic kind of deteriorated from the knob, and it's just not what it should be. Okay. I'm going to turn this to the side and make sure our viewing angle is correct. It's not really correct, but we'll get it. Why are people yelling outside? Don't yell outside, that's disrespectful. Alright, we're going to start it up on low. Now, an interesting comparison for this might be my other S223 in the peach color. Because that has the more powerful motor. I don't know offhand how much it draws. This one, I can't, it seems a little bit like the regular motor. I don't think that this is the more powerful motor. So this motor is probably what you would see in those Kmart fans, you know, the blue ones from the early 80s. I think that's what this motor is. Which is what I was hoping, because the other one is kind of loud to use. It's nice to have a powerful motor, but it doesn't have a slow low. And I'm not sure if the camera's in the Windstream, but I don't really have another place to move it, so. The way it's moving the air, it's very gentle. But there's a good volume of air moving. And it's not that loud, because it's the less powerful motor. Alright, let's go to medium. I like these motors a lot because they have a good range and speeds. The fans today, they may as well just have one speed because there's like no variance. The 3733 is okay as far as variance goes, but I wish it had a slower low. It's performing about like these typically do. The balance is pretty much perfect. Alright, let's go to high. Alright, I got some airflow testing here. And as you can see, it's not really, these are not meant to be high velocity fans. It doesn't have a whole lot of velocity to it, but the volume of air is quite large. I really like to use these fans in the windows. The dilemma with that though is I only do it after dark, because if you put these fans in a sunny window, you're going to wreck the plastic and you're going to fade the paint. So that's kind of what I save my modern fans for, because I don't care if those get yellow from the sun. So I always keep I have two modern box fans that I typically use in the windows, and then at nighttime I'll switch over to the vintage fans because they're typically quieter, but yet move more air. It's so smooth, like it is hardly shaky. And of course the image stabilization probably will remove any shaking at all, but like, it's smooth. This blade set is very well balanced. That was the camera. It's shaking a little bit like from the stand, but it's not really from the blade. This one's running very nicely. And as I said, over-oiled is much better than under-oiled, because when the motor is over-oiled, you get spin downs like that. Keeps the bearings in good condition, and you can clean up the spilled oil. Another reason why you don't want to have the spillage, though, is because when it's on the back of the motor like that, it'll attract dust quicker than it would if it was not sticky. And then when that happens, it kind of gets in all the vents and blocks airflow, which of course is not good. So right now we're going to do some, what are those things called? Startup noises for the motor. And then I believe the video will be concluded. Let's see if I can get this off of the tripod now. I can. Okay. Alright, we'll start with low. It's got a decent sound. Spin down is great, but it's annoying when you're trying to film, because it takes forever to get to the next startup. But you want the blade, of course, fully stopped so you get the full sound. Alright, medium. And no, I'm not going to stick my finger in the fan and slow it down myself. Patience is a virtue. High. Alright, so other than cosmetics, it's a fairly typical Lakewood box fan from the 1980s, I would assume, the early 1980s. The S623 I have, that one is from 78, and it has this same sticker. So maybe when I take the back grill off for removing that oil, I can decode that date that should be on the motor. I was told once how to decode it, and I have sort of forgot, but maybe if I don't even remember what those dates look like, so maybe once I see it I'll recall how to read it. I think there's a letter that corresponds to the month. I just don't remember if the year is in numbers or also in letters. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyways, that's about all for this. Oh, by the way, if anybody has any suggestions as to how to whiten this front grill up, I would be interested to know, just because the rest of the fan is pretty much still white, so to have the yellow grill kind of ruins it. Not that it really goes bad with the brown color. It looks nice, but it doesn't match the rest of the fan. So, any suggestions on how to do that for box fan grills would be welcomed in the comments section of this video. With that, this video is done. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.